first heard of Mystery Quest, I thought for sure it would be a turn-based RPG. I mean, it has Quest right there in the title, like Dragon Quest, Mystic Quest, and Quest 64, but it turns out that Mystery Quest is actually a platformer. The game is known in Japan as Hayokun no Fushigi Natabi, which translates as Hao's Mysterious Journey. What's so mysterious about this journey? Let's find out. There's surprisingly little information about this game online. There's only one GameFAQ entry, there is maybe one legit complete playthrough that I could find, and only a handful of amateur reviews out there. I was able to dig up the manual, which did come in handy, but it had me wondering why a game with such an evocative title has so little fanfare and information. Well, I'll get to that. Starting out, the game appears simple to understand. Left and right move you, A jumps, B fires an attack from your wand, a basic platforming recipe. It's not real clear what you're shooting from that wand, so let's go with wand pellets. You're a boy named Hao, H-A-O, and you receive a message from the Great Wizard commending you on how well you've studied to become a wizard yourself. He then lays out his final tests for you to prove yourself. The Great Wizard says you must get 4 magic talismans from the 4 mystery castles. Okay, simple enough. 4 talismans, 4 castles, no problem. You set out on your journey walking toward the castle. You'll learn some tricks here, like don't step on these things because they hurt, jump on these things because they bounce you, and so forth. Shoot a lot of enemies along the way, no big deal, nothing remotely memorable or challenging here. Once in the castle, the game feels like it officially starts. You'll spend most of your time in castles figuring out where to go and how to get where. The stage design isn't bad, but I wouldn't consider it great. Over the course of exhausting every option you have in front of you, you'll figure most things out. The trickiest parts come from nailing overly complicated jumps. Hao can jump higher if you time 3 just right, and to run you spam the attack button while moving. So in tight quarters, you'll need to master getting up speed, jumping, and jumping again when you land, lining it up so you launch from the edge of a platform to perfectly land safely on the other side of whatever you're jumping. Good luck, it takes a few tries to master. If Hao lands in deep water, it's instant death, but thankfully he can survive in the spikes for a little while. Bottom line though, practice running and jumping higher. That's the best advice anyone can give you. Your vitality is essentially your life, but like Adventure Island, for example, it diminishes gradually over time. Refill your vitality by shooting things like candles or enemies to get stars and moons. You'll need to find other magic items to advance through the castles as well, like power boots for breaking blocks you jump on, or a power helmet for breaking blocks above you. The puzzles can be a little tricky, but nothing you can't overcome. Even the castle enemies, the big ones, while appearing menacingly out of place in this game, aren't hard to dispatch. The regular enemies you encounter tend to leap at you unfazed after you shoot them, so be aware of that. If Hao loses vitality and dies, you'll start back at the latest signpost, or at the beginning of the castle. Not too punishing, but expect to grow tired of playing the same castle sections over and over. Okay, you get through the castles and survive until the end, and then what? If you guessed you have to beat the game twice to get the real ending, then you'd be wrong. 3 times though? No. Did I hear 4? That's right. You have to beat the game 4 times. Back to back to back to back. I mean, even Ghost and Goblin settled for just twice. On top of that, Castles 3 and 4 are essentially the same as 1 and 2 with only a few tweaks. And that is why online literature and videos are limited for this one. No one wants to sit there and beat this one 4 times in a row. Once would have been more than good enough to make this an okay game. The game has an almost just right level of challenge and is a decent length for just one playthrough at an hour plus for novices. And subsequent playthroughs don't appear to change anything from what I can tell, it's just more of the same 3 more times. I guess when the Great Wizard told Hao 4 talismans and 4 castles, he left out that 4 times part, and that's pretty unforgivable if you ask me. Makes you wonder who the first person was that decided there must be a better ending to Mystery Quest and continued beating it over and over in one sitting to find out. Let's be real, it probably said so in a Nintendo Power, but if I had played through even a second time and got the same disappointing end screen, I would have just believed that's how the game ended, disappointingly. Unfortunately, once you're disappointed in this game, you have to continue to disappoint yourself until it's over. Mystery solved? I would recommend this game for one playthrough to anyone who doesn't mind a few agitations but enjoys exploration, secrets, and very mild puzzling. If you want the notch in your belt of actually beating it, then pack a lunch, block out an afternoon, and mentally prepare yourself for the repetitive slog. Well, that essentially does it for Mystery Quest on the NES, where the quest is victory and the mystery is how many times you beat it before tapping out. Never trust anyone who says they're a wizard, and thanks for watching.